Okay, so in this video, I'll be discussing with you all about Fratter's method. Now, this Fratter's method is the third method or third type uh, of doing trip distribution under growth factor trip distribution techniques. So, this Fratter's method was basically introduced by a person named T.J. Fratter. And what actually happens in this method is that the total trip for each zone will be distributed to the interzonal movements. So, according to the relative attractiveness of each movement, the distribution will be taking place. So, soon after this, the future estimated trips for a zone will be distributed to the movements involving that particular zone in proportion to two main parameters, that is the existing trips as well as the uh, growth factor. You will understand what I have tried telling you here once we start solving the problem, so you need not worry much if you have not understood what I just spoke as of now. But as far as the Fratter's method is concerned, mathematically he represented the total number of future trips, that is capital Tij, that is between zone I and J, would be equal to the product of all these components. So this is small Tij, which is the present number of trips taking place between zone I and zone J, multiplied by ratio of capital Pi and small pi. I think in the previous video I have already discussed about what capital Pi and small pi are. Similarly, you have the product of the ratio of capital Aj and small aj multiplied by ratio of summation Ti to k Ti to k and summation of Ak, that is capital Ak and small ak multiplied by Tik. Now here this parameter k represents the total number of zones that we have considered for trip distribution process. So it usually ranges from 1 to k, even here from 1 to k. Okay. So after distributing the future traffic in and out of all the zones, each interzonal trips are assigned two tentative values. The first tentative value is the results of distribution of uh, for one of the zones involved, and the second one is the results of the distribution for the other zones involved. So after attaining these two tentative values, these are later averaged and a new growth factor for each zone will be calculated. Once the new growth factors are calculated, the distribution process is later repeated, and the iteration can be still continued if you want to have a better accuracy in growth factor. Now this is a flowchart which I have prepared myself looking into the textbooks that I have already suggested. So once you start solving the problem and once you have an understanding about the problems of how it is to be solved, you will be able to understand this flowchart in a much better way. Now let me just remind you that everything that I have written in this notes, which has been already shared with you all, is very important as far as the exam is concerned. Nothing can be left out as thinking that it might not be important. Everything is important into this. So let me quickly begin with the problem based on this filters technique. So for this, I'll directly jump into the textbook which is being scanned. Okay. So this is a simple example which was explained by Frater in his original paper, wherein he published this technique of doing trip distribution analysis. So I think you are already aware about what this matrix is. It is what we call in terms of transportation planning language as OD matrix. So along the y-axis you will have the origin zones, and along the x-axis you will be having the destination zones. So there are basically four zones here: A, B, C, and D. So the interzonal movements and the trips between these zones are being indicated here as the matrix elements. Now you can observe that the trips that are taking place within the zone is not being taken into consideration. Only the trips taking between two different zones are taken into consideration. Say, for example, from A to B, there are 10 trips. From A to C, there are 12 trips. And then from A to D, there are 18 trips, and so on. So, whenever the question will be asked to you, possibly in the exam, you will be given a matrix somewhat like this, along with the estimated future total trips or the target trips for the design year, as we had taken into consideration for previous methods. So the estimated future totals are given for zone A as 80, for zone B as 114, for C as 48, and for D as 38. So the moment this matrix is seen and these values are observed by you in the problem, you need to first draw a table somewhat like this, wherein you will have to include two new rows. One is the present total and the other one is the growth factor. So looking into this present totals, it is very simple to understand. It is the present total number of trips that are getting terminated in each of these zones. Say for example, the present total for destination zone A is 40. So 18 plus 12 plus 10 is 40. Similarly, 14 plus 14 plus 10 is 38, and then 32, and then again 38. This is anyways given in the problem, or will be provided to you in the question. Now when you have these two, that is the present total and the estimated future totals, you need to find out the corresponding growth factor E. Now this E represents the growth factor. So the ratio between the present total and the estimated future total gives you these growth factors. Okay, so in the denominator you will have in the denominator you will be having the present total, and the numerator will consist of the estimated future total. So the ratio between these two will give you 2. Okay, similarly for the ratio between these two will give you 3, and then 1.5, and then 1. Okay, so once this is done, you need to keep in mind this equation, the equation given by uh, TJ Frater. So in case if I am wanting to find out the total number of future trips between A and B, that is capital TAB, it would be equal to small TAB between A and B. Okay, so small TAB multiplied by PA divided by small PA, capital AB divided by small ab, and then multiplied by summation of all the present trips happening between A and other zones. So TAB plus TAC plus TAD divided by the summation of product of the present number of trip and the corresponding growth factor of the destination. So here if we take small TAB multiplied by the growth factor of the destination B. So TAB multiplied by EB plus TAC multiplied by EC, TAD multiplied by ED. So this growth factor is corresponding to the destination. Okay, so you need not get confused about this. Remember this general template and it would be easy for you to solve for the other cases as well if asked in the examination. So once you substitute all these contents into it, then you will get the total future number of trips as 36.4. Now let us just see what elements are being substituted in this equation. So the present number of trips between A and B, look into the matrix. A and B is 10. So that is 10 there. Okay. And then capital PA and small pa. Capital PA is this, small pa is this. Destination, this is the origin. Corresponding destination is B because the trips we are considering is between A and B. Okay. So from A to B means AJ is 114 and small aj is, capital AJ is this, small aj is this. So J here is B. Okay. I here is this. Okay, for A, zone A. Now once you have substituted these ratios, you think about these elements. So present number of trips between A to B is 10, from A to C is 12, from A to D is 18. So 10 plus 12 plus 18 is 40. So that comes in the numerator. So 10 multiplied by the growth factor of B. What's the growth factor of B? It is 3 multiplied by 3 plus TAC. T, A and C, that is 12 multiplied by the growth factor of C. Growth factor of C is 1.5 plus TAD. TA and D is 18 multiplied by the growth factor corresponding to D. Okay, so once you substitute all these values, you will be getting the total number of future trips that are going to happen between A and B. So the present trip happening is 10. So for the design year, the predicted future number of trips is 36.4. Now to begin with the distribution, you will have to create a table somewhat like this. Now you need to pay attention of how the table need to be framed. So the first column corresponds to the zone, second, third, fourth and fifth are each zones A, B, C and D, and then the next column would be the sum of products of trip and growth factor. So sum of products of trips and growth factors. So you'll get to know what this actually means as and how we proceed ahead. The next column would be the desired trips, and then the last column would be the ratio of the desired new total trips and sum of the products. Okay, basically the ratio of these two columns. Okay, then coming to the rows, the first row here is the growth factor, whatever we have calculated as we have here. Okay, these growth factors, and for zone A you will be having three subsequent rows. I'll tell you what these individual rows mean. So there will be three such rows for each zone, for zone A, for zone B, for zone C, and then for zone D. Now I'll explain to you about one zone. You can do the same for the other zones as well when you practice solving this problem at your home. So the first row for zone A is responsible to indicate the present number of trips happening from A to different zones. So from A to A there are no trips, as you can see in the matrix. From A to B you have 10 trips, that 10 you will have to write here. From A to C it is 12, so 12 you will have to write here, and then similarly 18. Okay. Now the second row here will be obtained by multiplying the first row elements with the corresponding growth factors which we have found here in the previous table. So 10 multiplied by 3 is 30, then 18 multiplied by 1.5 is uh, 12 multiplied by 1.5 is 18, and then 18 multiplied by 1 is 18. So the summation of all these, or summation of the product of the present number of trips and the growth factor, will be written here. That is what this column is about. Okay, so 30 plus 18 plus 18 is 66, and the desired total trips for future would be already provided to us in the question. So for zone A, the desired trips or the future number of trips is 80. For zone B, it is 114. For zone C, it is 48, and for D, it is 38. So 66 and 80 is what you need to keep in your mind. The last column would be the ratio of these two. Ratio of 80 and 60. 80 in the numerator and 66 in the denominator would give you the ratio of desired new total trips and the sum of products. So this is the ratio. Okay, don't mistake this with the growth factors. I'll tell you what this is in the later stage. Okay, so once this ratio is obtained, you need to start finding the elements as I had explained to you in this particular section. So the third row here for zone A are the elements that we get after substituting the corresponding values in this equation. So for capital TAB, after substituting all the values, we get 36.4. That 36.4 I will be writing here. Similarly, for T, capital T, A and C, okay, capital T, A, C, all these elements again will change, and once you do the calculation, you will get capital TAC as 21.8. Similarly, capital TAT you will get as 21.8. So in this way, you will be calculating each elements for all the zones and filling up the contents in the table. Now once this has been done, you will be moving to the next step of solving this problem by um, categorizing the trips between certain number of zones. So there are 4 zones here: A, B, C and D, and this is how you will have to create a new table having AB, AC, AD, BC, BD and CD. Okay, so whatever new elements you have got, that need to be entered in here. So the capital TAB you have obtained from the previous table is what? Capital TAB is 36.4. That 36.4 you will be writing here. Now you will have to go the other way as well. So that was capital TAB. Now what would be the future number of trips from B to A? Again go back to the table. From B to A is 41.5. So that 41.5 I'll be entering here. So in this way I'll enter capital TAC here and capital TCA here, capital TAD here and capital TDA here, and so on. So once all these contents are being entered, I'll do the summation of these elements for each of these categories. So summation of capital T's from A to B and from B to A is 77.9. Similarly, summation of these is 37.8 and so on. So once these totals are obtained, I will have to find the average of these numbers. Okay, so the average of the trips radiating from each zones need to be summarized, uh, and before we summarize, the average need to be shown here. So 77.9 divided by 2 is 39.9, 37.8 divided by 2 is 18.9, and so on. So once this is done, I'll be determining the new growth factor for the next iteration, as I had told you. So to determine the new growth factor, I'll have to separate the zones as A, B, C and D, and while doing this I'll have to enter all the uh, average trips wherever you have A. Okay, so you can see here in the previous step, you have A here, you have A here, and you have A here. So the average trips corresponding to the presence of zone A are 39.9, 18.9, and then 18.8. So 39.9, so it might be 39.9 or 0, just check, I'm not sure about it. So 39.9 and then 18.9 and then 18.8. So like this you will start entering all the average trips for each of these zones B, C and D, and then the new totals would be the summation of all these elements. So sum of 39.9 plus 18.9 and 18.8 is 76.7. So there are some mistakes in this textbook. So I have made the corresponding corrections, and the corrected scanned copies are already been shared with you guys. Okay. So the total number of trips for B is again 98.3. For C is 58.6. For D is 46.4. Now compare this with the desired totals which would have been given in the problem. So the desired total for zone A was 80, for zone B was 114, for zone C it was 48, and for zone D it was 38.0. Okay. So ratio between the desired total and the new total will give you the new growth factor. So ratio of 80 and 76.7 is 1.04, and then ratio of 114 and 98.3 is 1.16, and so on. Okay. So the process will have to be repeated. As I had told you, the growth factor is expected among all these different techniques what we have under growth factor method. You need to achieve the growth factor somewhere close to plus or minus 1. Okay, so you can observe that the new growth factor is very close to 1. If you want to have a reiteration to again achieve better distribution of trips, then you need to reiterate the process. So the process is then repeated to obtain a second approximation on the same lines, but by using the new growth factors. So these new growth factors what we get need to be replaced here, here and here, and then the elements here would be replaced by these new capital T ij's. Okay, so that's what you need to keep in your mind. So the procedure is very laborious, and it takes a very long time. You might have to make use of the computers, develop your own program to do the trip distribution using this technique. So that is the drawback what we have in this TJ Fratter's method of trip distribution. Okay, and it does not also take into account the effect of changes in accessibility of various portions of the study areas, and possibly the same drawbacks or similar drawbacks what we had seen in the previous methods can be applied even on this. So this was about the discussion on the Franter's method of trip distribution. So in the next video, I'll be discussing with you about Furness method of trip distribution.